All right, here we go. It's called Wild Burning Eyes. Hey, holla, queen, yeah. Hey, holla, queen, yeah. I'll break you out of jail. I'll break you out of hell. Hey, holla, queen, yeah. Hey, holla, queen, yeah. I'll break you out of jail. I'll raise you from hell. What's Cisco? He's a story for the song. Won't you look over, dear? Tell me what the hell is wrong. And make something up. Make up a good life. I love when you smile. Wow, burning eyes. Under dark red moon, blood-led night. Hold my hand to squeeze this tight. I love it when you smile. Anyway, it just keeps on going like that, so I don't know. I think it's more that kind of song than the other one, so it's a different version. Still gonna work on it night by night. The adventure waits here. So basically you put your phone and information in here, like your name and phone number, and then you just wait here. It's kind of the size of it. All right, so what I went ahead and did, I could have done a walk-in on Monday, which they didn't have any walk-ins today, so walk-in court. But this type of misdemeanor requires you to be in person, seeing the judge in person. So traffic tickets and stuff like that, you can just go in and just pay it. And this one, I have to see the judge to request an extension or what's known as a payment plan. I got the paperwork on it, so there's a set court date, so I'll be returning probably on the court date. It gives me a little more time, but the lady was really nice that dealt with me. She's a very nice lady, and she said that they can work with you on the amount of what the payment plan is. It's not terribly expensive, but it's not terribly cheap. Right now it's hard for me. So to pay the full amount would be very difficult. And that's what I was concerned with. Wasn't able to get on the payment plan today. It doesn't matter really per se. I'll tell you why. I've talked to some police and stuff because I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've been arrested before. I was arrested for a school zone ticket. And an officer there, even though he kind of frisked me and I didn't like that and accused him of, I didn't accuse him, but I don't like frisking and some people don't like that, but because your private area that gets kind of touched, and they just have to make sure you don't have any weapons on you. But anyway, I don't remember that officer's name, but it didn't happen to me on this particular case because I'm going about it in a more, I guess, learned way or educated way, because I learned from my last time. My school zone ticket, what I did was I went online, I got a lawyer out of Arlington. They tried to get it adjudicated. I thought it was dismissed, and I was wrong about it being dismissed, and so they picked me up a year later in Keller, and I had to spend 17 hours in jail, and it was a $400 ticket. Anonymous bailed me out. I figured out who it was eventually, but it was an anonymous person that bailed me out on that one. Okay, that happened a couple of years ago before I moved to Fort Worth. I was arrested in Keller, and then I had to take care of it in Louisville. Then I ended up overpaying the ticket, and they ended up having to pay me, and it's a big mess. Okay, this one's a different situation. I basically appear, I work out a payment plan, and then I go from there. Any ticket, even if it's a traffic ticket and you don't pay it, there's a good chance they'll release a warrant, and if you come across or whatever an officer, then they can certainly take you in. What this does, it's called a personal bond. So you fill it out, you give out some information about yourself, and they release the warrant as long as you promise to appear before the court date to talk to the judge and work out a deal. So I'll be honest with you, it's a theft under 100. It's over a tip jar, but I'm going with no contest because I never left with a tip jar. Whether I did it for the show or not, no one will ever know, but it's kind of a stupid thing. I don't want to get into the whole motivations of it all until way later. I think it might be tied up to my compulsion problem. I'm headed back now. I'm going to pay the parking ticket and head to the airport. But they said the good news is overall they said they'll work with you on the amount that you have to pay it. But you always have to make sure you pay it, because this is the valuable information I got from an officer from Keller. Okay, so he told me, so if you miss a payment on a payment plan, then they re-release the warrant. So don't think that you can sign up for all this and see the judge and get on a payment plan and then miss a payment, because then they'll just reissue the warrant, which is tough, because you're sticking to a payment plan kind of thing. So that's what I wanted to say on that one. So if you do a personal bond, they release the warrant, and then you show back up on a certain court date, show up on that court date for sure, or they'll release the warrant again. So show up on the court date, appear, ask for the payment plan, and then stick to the payment plan, pay it off. Once it's paid off, then you're somewhat free. You're pretty much free as long as you don't mess up again. I'm gonna look at this lion right over here. Oh, this is Capitol Grill. It's kind of cool right here. The Capitol right here. It's known as the Capitol. I thought it was a cool little lion right there. It's known as the Capitol Grill. Okay, so I'm still vlogging. That's all I wanted to say on that. I hope you understand. Go set up a payment plan, finish off the payment plan, or they'll release the warrant again against you. If you miss the court date, then they'll release the warrant. So they make it where it's kind of like no way out but to work with them. That keeps the community connected to the government and the government to the community. It's kind of a law and order thing. All right, so this could be going on depending on how much I pay. And I have a set amount. It could be going on, the payment could be going on for, I don't know, maybe half a year making payments. What I've learned in the long run from this is that the penalty is far worse than, you know, getting away with getting ahead a little bit. But I know times get tough. People have done this kind of stuff. You don't think clearly when it gets too tough, but it's probably better just to follow the laws of Moses. That's all I have to say on that one. If you can, if that works out for you, you're going to save way more on money, which is what we're all tied up, which means legal tender. This hurts. This hurts. That is a historical hotel of America right here. Probably not to show any information. Still the GA 079134. Don't get out of that. Don't get out of that one. It's one of those things. It's like, this is the Big Laugh Comedy Club right here. I didn't even know it was here. That's right. It's Big Laugh Comedy Club. I didn't even know it existed. Right next to the Jubilee. It's just one of those things like a sickness. You know, sickness is there. The law, unfortunately, even though Paul went back, talked to the Pharisees and Sadducees and said, you know, hey, I'll be more forgiving. I guess payment plan is a version of that. That's what I'm going to say. Definitely, 100%. Oh, that's cool too. It's some kind of artwork way over here. Going in front of the AC Hotel Fort Worth. Let's see what that is anyway. This is called the AC Hotel Fort Worth. It's kind of cool looking. It's right here. A little bit of traffic going on downtown Fort Worth. Well, one thing I have to say is you don't want to mix it up. You don't want to go off and do a theft charge to get a little bit of attention. It's going to get attention, but you don't want to do that. It's real stupid. All right, here we go. One last thing I wanted to vlog up here is the Jubilee Theater. Been by it before. So part of this too will be showing that, you know, actors, they do follow the law. They don't, you know, it does happen. I mean, Sean Penn hit a guy one time and he got thrown in for that. Don't go do that kind of stuff, you know. It's not, what is this right here? But he did out of passion. Jubilee Theater, East Texas, Hot Links is what they're doing. Yeah, this is the Jubilee right here. I'm gonna sneak in real quick. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to stop by. I used to help here when I was college. Yeah, I just wanted to stop by. What show are y'all doing right now?
We don't have a show right now. It doesn't start until the 29th.
Oh, the 29th. What show is it gonna be?
East Texas.
Do you mind me to take some photos of this right here? Of these? Okay, cool. Well, it's called East what?
It's right here, East Texas Happenings.
Okay. It's written by Eugene Lee. Huh. And that's in October. And then Black Nativity. It's a gospel play. Breeding Gravy. The bubbly black girl sheds her chameleon skin. It's March 29th, May 5th. And Thoughts of a Colored Man. There's a theater right there. Thanks so much. I've been to y'all's theater before. It's really cool. I'll grab one of these. You have a good one. That was really nice of her. She let me take some photos. That's Jubilee. I've helped out a little bit in college there. It's pretty cool. I've got a Pegasus thing right here. I gotta say one thing, I'm gonna get a Texas Weekly too and put it in the trunk. Whoa. Man, that's really noisy. I went at 1:30 and it was like, I just logged in. My phone was turned off, so I wasn't able to show you, but right when I logged in, they called my name. It was really weird. I was expecting to wait for hours on end. And it was pretty cool. Yeah, so I just basically just logged my phone number and my name, and it was like they called it immediately. And I sat down and they started dealing with the court date and everything. So they're pretty quick. Quicker than I thought they'd be. The thing with Jesus says, you know, to Judas, just, you know, do it quick. I don't want to wait on it, you know. Oh, this is cool right here. This little plant thing. Little green room kind of thing. This is like the little square, little footboard square. Yeah, you know, he tells Judas, you know, just do it quick, you know. Get your silver, move on. Francesca's right here. All right, head into the parking garage. Well, actually, you know, we'll just keep it on Cassavetes. Getting like an environmental vlog. Don't know how long that took. Didn't time it. I did put down when I got in. I think it was 1:58. Should be going on 3. Yeah, I saw a Truman Show here. Can't really see it. None. Gran Turismo. Barbie. She's supposed to be up for Best Picture, I think. They're haunted. Venice. Blue Beetle. And the Equalizer. And it lives inside. And my Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Bottoms. And Expendables. Alright, as long as you follow the law, then you should be able to do all that. But not, I don't know if I want to do all those in order, though. Oh, Haunted in Venice. That's Brano right there. Alright, now we go this way. Appreciate it, thanks. Got a Better Call Saul moment. Asshole right there. So when it comes to one of these, like theft under $100, and it's a class C misdemeanor, okay, and your best bet is to see the prosecutor, so you waive that, and then you just go with no contest or guilty. It's usually seen as almost the same. It's not necessarily the same. I'm saying no contest. But regardless, you ask for a payment plan in that case. That's what you would shoot for, and that's, you know, that's how you. Yeah, that's the best you can do if you're low on money, or if you're struggling. But this show is about getting out of that. That's what I planned for this show. I planned for success for this show, to find a way to step up in the financial market to make more money. I was offered a teaching position. I haven't been offered it yet, but I'm offered an interview, maybe a possible interview in Beaumont, Texas, and that would change everything. So I'd be at least making 50 or 60 grand a year, and that's through Beaumont. But I gave the principal an older information from Texas teachers. That's who I was working with, and you know, I don't know if he wants an updated one, but I'm not a certified teacher. So if they were to hire me on, then within a year they could make me a certified teacher. Within the first year. It's called alternative certification or emergency certification. But I was given a letter of acceptance back in 2011 from Texas teachers because I passed the content area test. I've passed it twice, so I've taken it I've taken it 2 times and passed it both times. So I was almost hired out in Round Rock, Texas, and that was last year. We were going to move out there and everything. This one's Beaumont, so we'll have to see. It's southeast Texas. It's 2 possible positions, either high school or middle school level of teaching. It's like the slight accident happened right in front of me. See if I can get over. It's pretty dangerous when this happens. It's the middle of the highway. Slight fender bender. Nothing major. They shouldn't stop like that on the highway though. But I guess they have to. At least it's serious. I guess they can. So what we're going to end up having to do for the screenplay of Grace is we're going to have to send everything out no later than October 9th. That's one day before the court date, just in case. So that gives me a time schedule. Like, that gives me a time limit on the schedule. I'm gonna have to work on a little bit each night until October 9th. Not a whole lot, but try to brush up and add scenes that need to be there. So Grim Life will be receiving the screenplay. If I do FedEx, let's see, or do first class mail. They usually weigh it, probably like $20 or something. It'll be addressed to their P.O. box, probably at October 9th. So they may receive it 3 or 4 days after October 9th. So maybe like October 14th to the 15th, if they're watching the vlog. So look out for a werewolf screenplay called Grace, aka Werevlog, which will be sent from you out of Texas October 9th to your P.O. box in Los Angeles, which you should be receiving it probably, maybe I have to look at what day it lands on. October 10th, I think, is like on a weekday. So it should be that Friday after October 9th. I'll look at the calendar. Okay, so I just did the math. Grim Life Collective will receive Grace, aka Werevlog screenplay by Cole Spivey on October 13th. It's a Friday the 13th. It'll be mailed out on the 9th. So they should receive it on Friday the 13th. The werewolf screenplay, so watch out. You understand? It's coming your way from the modern day Vincent Price. I think there could be a 50-year-old Vincent Price kind of character coming up in Hollywood. Anyway, that's what you're going to be receiving. You know, Vincent Price did not always play the gloom character. He didn't always play that, you know, but he was well cast as it. Played kind of the spooky, grim character kind of thing in some of his stuff. Anyway, that's when I'm expecting it to be going out. Now listen, here's the thing I want Michael and Jessica to know. It may not be completed, but it's going to be about 120 or so pages. There may be some notes in it and stuff. So if I don't get all the scenes, I'll at least have the scene notes, the scenarios. But most of the scenes that I want there are going to be there. And they've got dialogue and everything. It's a lot. It's a lot of material, a lot of dialogue, a lot of action, and all kinds of wonderful stuff. So you should be reading that about October 13th, Friday the 13th. So let me know. You can leave a comment on my channel or if you have time, you can also send me a letter back. The only thing is I'm not going to do return mail for my safety. So what I'll probably just do is just put my email on there. So you can hit me up on the email. If that was Michael that got in touch with me at WhatsApp, it could have been. I appreciate all the information, all the business stuff that you sent me. I didn't understand all of it, but anyway. I got some message from someone named Michael on WhatsApp that said he was related to Grim Life Collective. All right, so I'll be sending it October 9th. You should be receiving it on Friday the 13th of October. Onions. Doing this legal stuff, you're always thinking of your last meal kind of thing. It's really not that bad, but don't go out there and take any tip jars. None for me anymore. At least I learned the smart way. Look at this little tapioca stuff right here. Listen, in the field that I'm getting in, which is movie making, things like that, writing, there's going to be other legal battles that come up, and I plan to put it on the show. I don't want to get into everything, but this is just part of how things are, so I might as well get used to it. But anyway, it has no major legal battles with writing yet has happened yet, but it can happen. So. Now I gotta make that money for the court. And other bills as well. Alright, spilled some of the relish. Well, I didn't get any relish, but it was some of the sauerkraut. Alright, what did I do wrong in the last one? I'm thinking. I got the angle down right here. And we're doing the Grey Poupon. Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon? Putting the Grey Poupon on it, just like that. Linda hates when I do that. Okay, so we're gonna angle it here and get close in. Michael came to the green dot. You're my friend, and I'm eating a hot dog, and I'm showing you what it's like to eat a hot dog. I got some Rooster Booster here. Can't see it, but I showed it to you earlier. Here we go. Brat peppers. You want to chew with as much politeness as you can, just normal chewing like this. Show product. QT hot dog, brat dog. It's a brat dog with sauerkraut. Very good. do a check. Believe it or not, we're at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't feel it. It doesn't feel that way. I'm gonna check Google on that. 194,285 miles on the speedometer. It's not 100 degrees. I'm gonna check the temperature. VOR, it's a very high operating radar. It's omnidirectional, so it's very high operating omnidirectional radar. I think it's very high frequency is what they say. Very high frequency omnidirectional radar. It's a distance measuring equipment, so it measures the distance between the ground and the aircraft at a slight angle. Viewer was the one, I guess, Kentucky Ranger. Appreciate that, Kentucky Ranger, for telling me to look that up. I didn't know. Yeah, actually, you can look up DFW and put VOR DME. It'll pull up that satellite, photos of that satellite. All right. We're going to be real busy at the very end of September to October 9th. And I may have to give Gremlin Life the script that I have. But hopefully I'll be able to add a few sequences, and it'll be enough for them to possibly either sell it or show great interest in it and let me know what they think. They might could eventually sell it. But I'm kind of hoping that they get this message. Because when you write a script, you got to give it to somebody. And I can't think of a better group to give a horror script to than Gremlin Life Collective. Not right now, I can't. There's probably other people out there, but they're probably the #1 on my chart. So they will be getting my werewolf script, Grace, a.k.a. Werevlog, hopefully by Friday the 13th of October. I'll see how much I can change on it and how much I can add to the script by doing about maybe 30 minutes of work to an hour a night, maybe. But I still have to worry about the vlog. All right, let's go. All right through this way and over there. Clear right there. You can go through TSA, which is their handprint and their eyes. So they scan their eyes with their hand and they get right through TSA. They have to go through a security thing through that company. It's like $189 to get started. All right, so usually if they have a ticket in their hand, then that means that they're flying. If they don't have one, there's a good chance they already landed. All right, so this is when we transfer from one parking garage to another. I'm gonna go with a slow jog on this one. It doesn't really feel like 100 degrees outside. It says a 97-degree thing. It doesn't really feel that bad at all. By the time I get really good at this, I'm probably gonna be in pretty good shape. All right, so I don't want to cross the streams on this exit coming up. Whew. Gotta get back in shape. I gotta move from this parking garage to the one on the end. I can't make a mistake coming up here, or I'll have to go across the main road, which is, I think, International Parkway. I gotta stay far, far left. Okay, here we go. Whew. Oh man. So the idea on this is to stay far left as you can, or what? See up above? How it's up above there? That's where I needed to be. So the trick on this is a full circle, probably, because it's going to lead you out of that, and you don't want to make that cross. Because, well, it's crazy up there on International Parkway. See how it's just going one direction? So don't fret. Now you want to stay far right. So I wanted to go left. So far left is not how you want to really do it. You want to choose a safer way. So you'll stay on the inside here, and you stay far, I guess, far right, and get back onto the main road right here. Okay, we don't want another one of those, so a complete stop. All right, for the Blue Man Group, as they say. They're not really the Blue Man Group, but hey, the Blue Man Group would hang people upside down and paint with them on the wall. All they do is write little tickets, and you have to come up with the little numbers. Okay, let's see. Here we go. We're gonna say far left. Sweat. Always let them see you sweat. That's my theory. If you can. It's human. Hot Dog City. Hot Dog City. Trying to beat that luggage claim. See how I don't really talk about everything. All right, now we are there, so should be right about around here. So we're parking in this garage right. I don't really recommend doing that because it's better to stay with them. But you can do information exchange. That can help a little bit. Because you're gonna get this kind of stuff. No brake lights, just very slow. All right. And get on your feet as soon as you can, soldier. Soldier. Never in the armed forces, but my father and grandfather, or let's see what that was. This thing. This way. All right, that's a really nice guy. Coming out of Nebraska for work. He lives in this area. I told him about the channel, the YouTube channel. And hopefully, if things go right, I'll be able to review Killers of the Flower Moon. But I can't make any guarantees since my court date is October 10th. But we're gonna head back. You're seeing a lot of the airport lately. A lot of the airport. I'm just the type where I just would rather make the payment rather than the face whatever the payment plan thing is, you know. I don't know, you know. That's a lot. That's a lot I'd have to do to get the payment done. Because you see, I have the opportunity just to make a payment before October 10th. or I'd have to see the judge and request an extension, and that's when payment plans are mentioned. We're only talking about a misdemeanor. It's not the end of the world. This happened, I think, and I know it sounds crazy, but I bring the glory over to the Lord, God. Because you don't want to go around taking things that don't belong to you. And that's bad. But that's not what really makes a thief. Okay? In God's eyes. When you're not living God's plan and the mission for the Lord, and we're talking about the New Testament stuff, we're talking about serving the Lord and being a good person and helping other people and just believing in the Lord, right? And loving His people, then you're thieving from the Lord's mission, okay? If you took some bread and you were hungry, God's going to forgive you. God's going to forgive you for taking bread when you're hungry. I wonder what this is right here. You want to also pay attention to other cultures, and you want to love other cultures. I think it's a Buddhist temple. But you want to love other cultures and love other people regardless of who they are. That's, not doing that is a way worse crime than taking bread per se. And what's another thing about money is bread, but you don't ever really want to take money. It's one thing I've never done before. You don't ever want to do that. If you can. You can take payment for something, but you don't want to you don't ever take a tip jar. It's human, but you don't want to do it. Okay? I'm just sending a warning out there. And I think God runs this show. It's a long show. It's a detailed show. And that's why sometimes I edit these stuff and I try to keep everything I can, because I say messages about the gospel and messages about following the Lord. If you don't follow the path of the Lord, then you are thieving. You're thieving from the plan of the gospel. Because then you're living a life just for the world and not for the gospel. Right, kitty? Listen, I'm a lover of Jesus Christ, and I'm a believer that He died for our sins. But this is the time where you have to get Zen and Buddha. Now, I'm not worshiping Buddha or anything like that. But what I mean is that this is a time when you have to focus on self-control. Now, Buddhism is here for a reason. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. But it's here to practice an intense focus on self-control. Okay? That's what Buddhism, to me, is here for helping us as Christians with self-control. Okay? A lot of Christians are going to disagree with me. Okay? And some of them won't. But you have to be kind to the Buddhist concept and to those of other religions. And what you have to do as a Christian and as a filmmaker and as an actor is you have to find how that religion and how that culture is going to help you. And you have to accept it. And this goes for all of the religions. Or you can't really be a Christian, because Jesus Christ died for all of nations, for all of cultures. So what works for you in that religion? How is that person going to help you? You don't talk to them about who God is, because you don't know. You don't know. The true name of the Lord is in your heart. And we say Jesus, and that's fine. You can say that. But the true name, His true name is in your heart. And those that love Christ will say His name is Jesus Christ. They're actually from maybe a possible Native American area, I think. I don't know. It's in yellow. I've never seen it before. But anyway, you still have to accept others, is what I'm trying to say. I want to talk to you about this guy right here. When you go to the DFW airport, you get this, right? You want to scan the QR on it, okay? Here we go. There is the QR. It's also a barcode. Try to keep these, because each one of these are worth money. Now, I don't usually keep them, but they do get the plate. Your plates are put on there, printed on there. So when you file your taxes, you can use each one of these. They can range between $2 to $3 to $9, depending on the price. I'm going to write on this what I paid on it. So what I'm going to do is take a pen right here and putting a dollar sign on it right here, because these can actually be written off. This pen is like the worst pen in the world. This is one of my church pens.
They purposely do this because they don't want any writers in the church. But Richardson does. This is a Richardson pen right here. Richardson has a better one. That's a pretty good pen right there. And this one's even a better pen, which I'm going to take this pen right here. This pen right here and use this one. So you can see, it'll have the date on it. It has my license plate on there. At the bottom, it has a barcode. And I put $3 on there, okay? That way, these are each worth money. Because I can write them off on tax.